Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Andrew from Team Blacktop YGO. Today I'm bringing you my deck profile and some videos that I have about the new Adamatia archetype, or should I say Adamancipator, as they're going to be officially known as in the TCG. They are a rock type archetype consisting of basically a lot of cards that excavate. That's the whole theme. It's a really cool rock monsters that excavate, especially when you look at their main deck monsters. Analyzer, Seeker, and Researcher, they're all kind of like geologists rather, and they dig up rock monsters. They have some main deck eggs, you can kind of call them, because they basically are eggs when you think about it. But they have some main deck eggs, do some stuff, and you can put a lot of really good generic rocks in this deck that really help out. Adamatias also have some really good support cards. Sign is probably one of the best in archetype monster reborns I've ever seen, because it's not really an archetype. It's a generic rock monster reborn, not once per turn. That's pretty insane to me. Pretty good card when you draw it, so you kind of want to see this a lot. But anyway, as for what the Adamatias do, if you don't know, they consist of three main deck non-tuners, three main deck tuners. The tuners, they all have two effects. Their first effect special summons themselves from the hand conditionally. Analyzer special summon is if only your opponent controls a monster. Seeker is if you control Adamatia, and Researcher is if you control a rock. This is probably the best one, I would say, just because it's the most generic, but that's my opinion. Anyway, in their non-tuners, they have Dragite, Leonite, and Raptite. Oh, and I forgot to mention, all the Adamatias, the tuners, they have an effect. Hard once per turn, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, special summon a level 4 or lower non-tuner rock monster from among those cards, and then you put the rest back on the bottom of your deck. The excavating theme is what makes this archetype really appealing to me. It's really cool because of the theming, and I'm not proud of it, but whenever I was really young, I used YugiOhCardMaker.net, that older website. I made an archetype called Magical Miners, and it basically had the same sort of concept where you would excavate stuff, add something, or special summon something, and I don't think they were tuners, but it was a cute little deck. So that's why this deck really appeals to me. But anyway, onto the non-tuners. So each of the non-tuners has two effects. One is when it's summoned via the effect of an Adamatia card, and the second one is if it's just in the graveyard. Whenever Dragite's special summoned, it's by the effect of an Adamatia card. You draw a card. Leonite puts an Adamatia card from your hand or graveyard on top of your deck, and this one can put a rock monster from your hand or graveyard on top of your deck. And then when they're in the graveyard, these are different attributes. So you have wind, fire, and water. They can return a Synchro monster of their own attribute to the extra deck and then put themselves on top of the deck. So you have a lot of recursion in this deck, which is really nice, especially because you go through a lot of resources. They have some spells too. Adamatia Sign, like I said, is that really cool monster reborn, not once per turn, generic for rocks too. And then Lapitite's a field spell. This one's kind of iffy. I don't know if I want to play 3 of it or what, but it's good when it's good. So its first effect is all rock monsters gain 500 attack and defense, which is pretty nice. It's always nice to be able to summon a 500 attack and defense, or I'm sorry, a 2400 attack Quackimiru Guardian, just normal summoning it. That's pretty good a lot of times. But also their second effect, of the field spell is that you can stack your deck once per turn to put 5 Adamatia cards on top of your deck in any order you want. This is really good when it comes to their own excavating effects, as well as some of the effects of the Synchro monsters that we'll get to in a little bit. They also have 2 trap cards, but I did play them in the original version of this deck, but I cut them in this version because I think this version is probably a little bit better. But this version can go second a lot better, I've noticed as well. But Relieve and Resonance. Resonance is kind of like it's a monster effect negate counter trap, and then Relieve is like a Salamander 8. Is it Rage? Rage is their normal trap. It's kind of like a Salamander Rage type of thing. But yeah, they're not terrible, but I don't play them in this build. Some other cool generic cards you can put in here. Block Dragon's obviously really good in any sort of rock spam deck. There's a combo you can do with Union Carrier to get this thing out and to refill your hand at the end of your turn. It's a good combo, but the problem is that Union Carrier is not that great of a card because you can't use it to link off, and I only mean that part of it's not that great. Of course, the effect to equip something from deck is hugely relevant, but I don't know. I want to find a way to work around that, and so maybe playing IP Masquerena with some other cards will be a little bit better. Quackimere Guardian, you can really substitute this for any of the other Quackimeres that like the Spell Negate, the Trap Negate, and the Monster Summon Negate, but I play this one because it seems the most relevant to me. This is a really cool card, Senju Soldier of Stone. It's actually from the Dark Side of Dimensions movie pack. I think that's, no, is that the right one? Yeah, whatever the most recent movie pack is, or whatever the most recent movie is, this is the pack that it came in. It's a free body if you control only rock monsters, and the other relevant part is that it is a level 3 Earth monster, so that means I can use one level 2 Earth tuners, because all the tuner Adamatias are Earth, and I can go into Naturia Beast. So, and I can also go into, where is it at? Barkion too. I play both, and you can use Barkion with like Guardian in the level 2, or the level 4 and the Doki Doki. Speaking of Doki Doki, I do play 3 of this. This is probably the best generic support card outside of the new Adamatia sign. I don't know if this is better or if Doki Doki is better, but they're both really good. But yeah, Doki Doki, discard a rock, special summon one with the same type and attribute from your deck in face up attack or face down defense position. Really freaking good card. Great extender if you draw it. What else do we play? Ash Blossom as a hand trap. I also play Imperm as a hand trap. On to spells, Instant Fusion. I don't know if I'm going to be playing this in the future. It seems okay, but there's a really, I don't know. It's a good negate baiter, but I might be taking this out for like a Pot of Desires or something like that. Other things, Foolish Burial and Monster Reborn. These things also, I don't know if I want to play these. I mean, it's really good if your hand is bad and you have one of these, you can kind of fix it. But other than that, I don't know. This deck, when it bricks, you can't do anything. Like some decks when they brick, yeah, you make like a less than optimal board, but this deck just really loses to a bricky hand, and you get quite a few of them because really there's only 9 amazing cards that you want to see right off the top of your deck. So, and out of those 9, only 6 of them are like especially good. So I don't know. It works for me sometimes, but I'm considering reevaluating this deck. On the extra deck, I played the Thousand Eyes Restrict for the Instant Fusion, and like I said, I might be cutting this, who knows. Let's go to the Adamatia Synchros first. So we have Dragite, they're called Adamatia Rises. I don't know if they're going to be called that in the TCG, if they're going to be called Adamancipator Rises or what, but anyway, there's a Water, a Fire, Leonite, and an Earth one, Raptite. Raptite, so they all have an Excavate, or they all have an Excavate effect and a a quick effect. So Raptite's Excavate effect is you can special summon a level, actually any rock monster, yeah. Any rock monster that you excavate off the top 5 cards of your deck in defense position, tuner, non-tuner, any level, whatever you want. So this is like your first synchro you go into because this is a really good card. The fire one, Leonite, it has the same excavate 5, but this one adds an Adamatia card. So yeah, it's pretty good. You really want to use this card if you have enough extenders and you want to go into like Adamatia sign. If you want to try and search that, which is always really good to do. So pretty good card. And then Dragite's Excavate effect, which is probably the coolest effect on this entire archetype, is that you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck, and then if you do, you can return cards your opponent controls to the hand up to the number of rock monsters excavated, and then you place them back on the bottom of the deck in any order. But this makes this deck really good at breaking boards. If you can bait out all their negates, and then Dragite, non-targeting, non-destructive removal, that's pretty good in my opinion. So this makes this deck really fun. It's really cute when you get to bounce your opponent's entire board, but that's neither here nor there. And then the other two, this one is a quick effect. While you have a water monster in your grave, it is a spell trap negate. Leonite, while you have a fire monster in your grave, notice the pattern here. While you have a fire monster, it's a monster reborn during your opponent's turn. And then a Raptite is a kind of a call by the grave. No, a DD Crow. That's the one I'm looking for. It's a DD Crow if you have a wind monster in your grave during your opponent's turn. So yeah, that's the Adamatia Synchros. For the rest of the Synchros, I play Crystal Wing because it's super easy to go into this, and it's a really good card. Omega, this thing will probably get cut in the future. I don't ever really seem to want to make this card. It just doesn't do enough. So, I don't know. Maybe in simplified game states it's okay, but you really never get there with this deck. And if you do get there, you're probably going to lose. So, I don't know. Take that with a grain of salt. Naturia Barkion, just in case we go up against any Altergeists. I know this card doesn't seem like too relevant, but I want it there just in case, because I don't want to lose to the heavy trap matchups. And plus, it's super easy to make too. You just have to go like, you get either like Guardian plus any of the level 2s, or if you go Analyzer plus Doki Doki, it's pretty easy to make actually. And then Naturia Beast, like I mentioned earlier, super good card, really good if you can get it out, but it's not the main focus of the deck. On to Xyz monsters. This card is probably the MVP of the deck in terms of Xyz monsters, because it's a Rhoda for rocks. It's super good. Not only does it Rhoda for rocks, but it's like generic. It's just 2 level 4 monsters. Granted, we're only playing level 4 rocks in this deck. That's the only level 4 monsters we've got, but still, really good card. Super good. And then Abyss Dweller. I've seen some builds of this deck. They don't play any other Xyz monsters besides Gallant Granite, but just in case I come up against Orcus or Heroes or Dinos even, they kind of play with the graveyard a little bit. Shaddolls especially. This thing is a staple, and I absolutely want to play it because it's super easy to make too. Typically, you can get 2 level 4s out, so yeah, not hard at all. For links, I play Boral Sword, Appaloosa, Nightmare Phoenix. This thing probably will probably be changed to a Nightmare Unicorn. But for the videos I'm about to show you, I played Phoenix. Needle Fiber. This card, I don't know. This card really kind of, I play it because sometimes you just need to be able to put a rock monster on board or an Adamatia monster on board. But other than that, though, I don't know. This card doesn't seem to do very much in the deck. Yeah, it's great if you're playing like a huge combo deck, but not really in this deck. So I might be cutting this one as well. And then last but not least, probably the best Link monster in the deck is Union Carrier. This thing gets you access to Block Dragon, which then gets you access to, well, everything you need. So, pretty good card. Side deck is kind of up for grabs, but I am playing Nibiru, obviously a staple. Also, it's a rock, so if you ever want to search it, you can with Gallant Granite. Lightning Storm, really good going second card. Dark Ruin of War, also really good going second card. This deck does really struggle with like lots of heavy negates because it's pretty fragile. You really want its normal summon and its normal summon's effect to go through, or like your first Adamatia tuner. You want that card to go through. So yeah, you really got to play this. I also play Twin Twisters for back row decks, and then Dimensional Barrier because Shaddolls are probably going to be the best deck of this format, I would imagine. And also, it's Master Rule 5, so yeah, we need Dimensional Barrier. That's it for this deck. Like I said, I'll be making some changes, but now we're going to go on to the replays. So I have plenty of replays here. We're just going to go in order from alphabetical order. This is going to be a longer video, but I haven't posted in a while, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm not making money off these, so who cares? Now, some of these videos are good, some of them aren't. But anyway, we'll kind of show you what happens here. So I'm going second, or I've sided for going second in this video, or in this one, because, and the reason, I know it might seem unusual, but this is game 2 of a match, and the first game, my opponent went first, and he was playing Dino, so I'm like, okay, I guess he'll make me go first again, because I won that game, so I'm going first in this game as well. So I summon this grabs this, obviously really good. Going to Granite. He doesn't have any hand traps, so we're probably going to be okay on that front. We're just going to keep popping off here with these guys. Luckily we find ourselves a Doki Doki. Doki Doki will get this, and this is actually a misplay here, or a misclick rather. One of the things, I kind of just like get ahead of myself and I accidentally click the face down on this, so yeah, it's not good. But basically, we accidentally summon it in face down defense position. If it was an attack position, I could have popped off even more. It would have probably saved myself from the storm, but whatever. So Union Carrier is going to target Doki Doki, and we're going to make Needle Fiber. Needle Fiber is going to summon something, and then Block Dragon is going to search these guys. So that's what Block Dragon can do in this deck. It searches all of these at once, so you can refill your hand for next turn, which makes it really good, especially if you can have enough disruption going first to like sort of stall your opponent out. So pretty neat stuff you can do there. And so this is our ending board. I played Phoenix because I know he's playing Dinos, and this co-link actually just protects my monsters from being destroyed. which is kind of nice. But he's going to pop off here. He's going to go ahead, attack over these guys a bunch. This and that. And I'm on my last legs here. 1600 life points left. But luckily for me, I do have, I'm gonna do this. He's gonna flip all that stuff. I'm gonna ash this. He's gonna do that. So a bunch of crazy stuff's going on here. He's got Pankratops as well, but I've got Union Carrier, and so we're going to attack that. Get down to 300. Yeah. So you see the big brain play there. It's to clear my board so that way I can storm him. At this point, he can't storm me because I don't control any face-up attack position monsters. And from here on out, I just flip everything, and that's pretty much game over, I want to say. I think at the end of this turn, it is game over, which is kind of funny. Oh yeah, I didn't get anything off of that that Seeker, which is kind of funny as well. But we do get this off of that. We're going to go ahead, shuffle some stuff back. This guy's special himself, get a Dweller, just in case we don't game him this turn, but we probably will. There's really no reason we wouldn't. Yeah, and at this point, you just scoop. So there's that. This is a for hire replay. I know, not high quality, but it's still a deck. So we're going to go ahead and swap here. This is also a game 2, I think. Yeah, it's game 2 because I've sided in Storm. And so, yeah, he just does a bunch of crazy stuff. Nothing really important here. Interesting to note, he is playing Terror Top. I don't know what's the point of this. Although I played against this deck yesterday. It was like this stupid Speedroid deck, and I'm like, okay, it's Speedroid's like everything's gonna be okay. But yeah, didn't really work out for me because it made some Oregon and it put Barrier Statue on field, and at that point I'm like, all right, this is dumb. But anyway, I'm basically throwing my entire board at him to out his field. I make Phoenix. I pass. He is going to go ahead and probably, I think he storms here. No, he doesn't. He reborn some stuff, and I'm still at 8k, so I can hang on for a little bit here. But next turn happens, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Nash is Rhoda. He has Tanky. He has some other stuff here, but he's not going to put anything on board that I can't deal with. Yeah, all the stuff is just bodies. So yeah, I summon this, fortunately. I have this, and then we just pop off from here. We get the Guardian, I think that's what we summon. Yeah, we summon the Guardian. We link into Raptite. Raptite gets, what do we, I think we get a level 2 tuner here. No, we don't. We get Dragite. Dragite special summon, so we draw a card. Megallon Granite, the best, like I said, the best Xyz monster in this deck. Got Researcher special. Researcher gets some stuff. I think we put another Guardian on field. Dragite, and then Dragite, I think we got exactly 4. Yeah, so we bounced these 3, because I'm not going to bounce Tenki, so we can't reactivate that. And from this point onward, it is game. So that's one of the things I like about this deck, is that if your opponent doesn't really have any negates, you can kind of play through everything. So I believe my opponent's going first here. Did I make him go first? No, I'm going first. So I think this was an especially fun duel, but this is actually a really good. One of the nice things is if you open like Analyzer plus one of the other ones, you usually have like your full combo on board. And it's not really a combo, but you know what I mean. So I'm gonna make Carrier. We're gonna do this. Now normally I wouldn't do this, but we have the sign in hand, so that means we can kind of we can extend a little bit, and we start doing some stuff. Plus we had enough monsters to go into the full combo with Block Dragon before using them. So we're going to get a couple of things here. I believe I'm going to make Dweller here. Is that right? I make Dweller here. Reborn that, so we can make Crystal Wing. And this is a pretty good board. I don't know if you can see this here, but we've got Beast, we got Crystal Wing, and we have Dweller. So our opponent probably can't get over this. This is probably the most optimal thing my version of the deck can do. So yeah, it's neat. Definitely neat. So we're just going to negate this right off the bat. Yeah, I need scoops there. So it's nothing crazy. I'm not going to... This one's actually kind of funny. I guess I'll play it. Like I said, it is going to be a long video, so keep that in mind. So yeah, this is game 2, I believe. Yeah, so my opponent just passes. And I'm like, okay, sweet, free reign. And I wasn't expecting the Nibiru because I'm like, interesting. I wonder why he did that. So I was kind of taken aback at this point. But I do summon the Soldier of Stone, and at that point he Nibiru's me. But luckily, I'm able to get a Soldier of Stone back, able to get Sign back. We're able to make Nat Beast, I believe, at this point, and we have everything set up for next turn. So at this point, he activates Wolf. I negate. Yep. He Bigfoots, discards that. He goes to battle phase. I really don't understand his line of play here. But anyway, I'm gonna ash that. He's gonna perfume, do some crazy stuff. He is actually gonna make a pretty nice, as far as Lunalight, the fusion deck is concerned. He's gonna make a pretty good, decent board, I guess. But this is my hand. I don't have anything great, but I have a Union Carrier, and I have this. I can put it in attack position. Gives it 1,000 more attack. So right now, I have a Nibiru token beating his stuff down. I have a second Ash for his second Tenki, which probably didn't make him too happy, but he's got Jackalope, and he's also got a Black Sheep in hand to do some stuff with. He's got Wolf, so we can get fusion with stuff in his graveyard, which is kind of silly, but anyway, he does that. Attacks over Carrier, whatever, that's fine. And I've still got my 5k attack Primal Being token. I'm going to go ahead and get this guy back. We're gonna use Analyzer to see if we can pull off here. Look at that. We got our God, not our God card, but our best rock boy. And then we're going to go ahead and excavate 5, I believe, here. Yeah, excavate 5 rocks, the luckiest one I've ever done. Bounce all 5 to hand, and that is GG right there. I don't think he's scooting. Yeah, I think we kill him. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So that's good game right there. It was just funny. We can show you. Let's show you a decent one here. So this is versus Shaddoll Invoked. This I don't know if this guy was he probably wasn't that great of a player. I don't think because he did some questionable things with his deck. I'm not meaning to call him out or anything. I'm just saying he might have been new to the deck or something like that. I know I don't know how to play this deck. So I don't know. Yeah, so we're actually sitting very nice right here. He doesn't have any hand traps, and we're gonna do some crazy things here with Block Dragon, getting a bunch of stuff out of the graveyard. I don't think at this point I know what he's playing. Oh yeah, and I misplay here. Did I misplay? I don't remember, but I special summon this randomly. Yeah, so we're gonna get that, and he's gonna Super Poly, which is kind of crazy, into Makaba. But he doesn't get his invocation. So he does some things here. He has Makaba Construct, which is kind of hard for me to out at this point, but I do have this full hand of tuners thanks to Block Dragon, and I've got Sentry Soldier of Stone on board, which really helps with that. So we're able to go do some plays here. We're able to draw it to Dragite, and Dragite being the best card in this the best non-tuner that you can summon off of those guys. Does some crazy stuff to make Nat Beast. We go for another summon here, I believe. No, we don't hit anything there. We make Dragite. We fix our deck with Laputite, and we just flush all of his hand out. Return everything to hand, which is pretty funny. We get Block Dragon for the win, I believe. Yep, that's game right there. So yeah, just some cool little things you can do against Shaddoll Invoked. They didn't open the best, but I don't know. I mean, I did do some stuff there. Let's look at Metaphys. Metaphys is kind of a deck that a lot of decks in the format right now lose to, but my deck really doesn't. Yeah, it turns off my sign if he's able to get Dimension Fissure or Macrocosmos out, but as of right now, he's not really hurting me. This guy also plays a bunch of Floodgates, so he's playing Rivalry, and there can be only one. This of course doesn't affect me because all my monsters are rocks, and that's pretty much it right there. We're gonna make Granite. We're gonna go ahead and search the Researcher so we can get another special summon here. Researcher is gonna go ahead and grab us. I think the Doki Doki that we just excavated. Yeah. So now we can go ahead and pop off at a Carrier, and at this point he Rivalries. So yeah, it feels bad, but what you gonna do, right? So I believe at this point we summon the Guardian. Yep, Guardian special summon itself. We go into Dragite. Dragite is going to bounce a bunch of stuff, hopefully. Yeah, we excavate 4 rocks there, so that's pretty insane. Bounce everything to hand. It was my mistake. I should have summoned this guy in. Actually, I'm pretty sure I couldn't have summoned him in attack position. I'm not entirely sure here. But Yeah, let's see. Yeah, this guy says defense. So yeah, that's why. But basically, I'm going to stop everything. Every spell he does, he's just going to have to set pass with the normal summon of Decoy Dragon. I don't know what he's trying to do at this point because I'm just going to bounce everything with Dragite. But he does have this. So this is actually the craziest play, believe it or not. We're going to Imperm in the same column Rivalry was in, which that was kind of his mistake there. He should not have set this in a column that I had something face down in if it was that important of a card. But you know, whatever. I'm not gonna question that guy. This is versus Orcust. This deck still does some stuff apparently. But unfortunately for him, I don't know if you can see this here, but he has opened his win condition, his Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. So it must feel bad for him, but he doesn't have any hand traps. He has his Dark Ruler no more though, and he is going to use that against me next turn. But as for right now, well, we're doing okay. We have a Sign in hand, we have Ash Blossom in hand, so yeah, we're not doing too bad. Let's see, Union Carrier is going to go ahead and equip the Block Dragon. We go into Raptite. Standard first turn combo, if you want to call it that. But yeah, probably going to summon what? Something green there. I think we just end on this, right? No. We do get this. We're able to go into Leonite just to see if we can fish for something else there. Maybe another Sign. But we're not able to get anything really good. We're able to get Laputite, and that's going to kind of have to do it for us. Now we do get this, but unfortunately our opponent's going to Dark Ruler no more us. He's going to kind of pop off here. I have nothing against him. I'm going to Ash his Dark Grepher though, because, well, being able to dump anything from your graveyard is to your graveyard from your deck is pretty decent. I go ahead and, I don't know why I activated Guardian there. That was kind of a stupid move on my part, but I shouldn't have used that because it was Dark Rulered, so... Anyway, he's going to do some weird plays here. I don't know if you've been noticing, but he made some weird choices. I think they're probably acceptable, but like, I don't know, they just seem kind of weird to me at that moment in time. But anyway, he's going to make Dingirsu. He's going to send that guy to grave. He's going to attack over this, and I'm not going to take any damage, of course, because he Dark Rulered me. But our hand is set up for next turn. If you can see here, we have plenty of stuff to work with in our hand, and we're going to recur some of our Synchros as well, which is kind of nice. So yeah, we're probably going to summon Guardian here, I believe. Yep, oh no, we summoned this guy. Oh yeah, because we still have... I don't know why we summoned this guy, but it doesn't really matter. So he's going to start doing some Orcust quick effect stuff, yada yada yada. It's not really going to matter because we have this huge field. We're going to make Borrelsword Dragon. I believe we summoned the Dragite off of this one. No, we summoned Doki Doki. That's right, because we haven't normal summoned yet. So we go ahead, get Dragite. We go ahead and use Dragite for, I think, 3? Yeah, 3. So we just put them all back in his hand, because why not? And then at that point, our opponent scoops. This is pretty decent, not going to lie. Let's see here. So we've got, what, 4 replays left? I guess, no. 3 replays left. We'll show this one first. Yeah, we'll show this one first. Shaddoll Thunder. This is actually kind of interesting. He's also playing Metaphys cards too. I just now noticed that. No wait, did I open up the wrong one? I opened up the wrong one. Whoops. That's Metaphys. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. I don't have any. Don't have anything versus Zodiacs for Adamatias, and I'll tell you why. Zodiacs are pretty good. I don't know. I started playing during Pendulum Magician format, so like during Master Rule 4, and that was after Zodiacs were in their prime. And I gotta tell you, I'm kind of glad because I played against them like at their current power level, and holy cow, like I don't know. That's a discussion for another day. But anyways, let's go back to the deck profile here. This is my Adamatia deck. Like I said, it's up to changes. I might be evaluating the instant fusion stuff, and the Omega and X deck probably shouldn't be there. Also, Nightmare Phoenix should probably be a unicorn, just because like there are plenty of circumstances where I can go into a Link 3, and unicorn's just better than Phoenix anyway. But yeah, that's that's what we got, folks. This is my Adamatia deck. It comes out this Thursday in OTS stores. If OTS stores are going to be open, and Friday in retailers elsewhere. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. I know it was a long one, but sometimes you just need some background stuff to listen to. I get it. And if you really like my content, consider subscribing. I know there's not a lot, and I don't post very often, but every bit counts. Anyways, this is going to be Team Blacktop YGO signing off. Thank you so much.